What if I told you that ADHD might actually be a superpower disguised as a disorder? New research is completely flipping the script on how we understand ADHD brains, and the findings are blowing scientists' minds. For decades, we've been told ADHD is all about deficits. Can't focus, can't sit still, can't follow through. But here's the thing. Some of the world's most successful entrepreneurs and innovators have ADHD. Richard Branson built the Virgin Empire with it. Bill Gates revolutionized computing with it. Walt Disney created magical worlds with it. So what if we've been looking at this all wrong? Scientists are now discovering that ADHD brains aren't broken, they're different. And those differences, they might just be exactly what our world needs right now. Let's start with creativity. When researchers put people with ADHD through creative thinking tests, something incredible happens. They don't just perform well, they absolutely crush it. Their brains generate ideas like fireworks, connecting dots that others can't even see. It's called divergent thinking, and ADHD brains are wired for it. Think about the person who invented the sewing machine. For years, everyone tried to replicate hand sewing by putting the eye of the needle at the top. Then someone with a different way of thinking said, "What if we put it at the bottom?" Boom! Revolutionary invention. That's the kind of boundary-breaking thinking ADHD brains do naturally. But here's where it gets really interesting. Hyperfocus. You know how people say ADHD means you can't focus? Total misconception. When something captures an ADHD brain's interest, they don't just focus, they enter a state of concentration so intense it's like having a supercomputer. Hours feel like minutes, distractions disappear, work that might take others days gets done in hours. One study found that people with ADHD traits scored higher on hyperfocus abilities than neurotypical individuals. And when they're in that zone, their productivity goes through the roof. Their problem-solving abilities skyrocket. They're basically operating on a different level. Now let's talk about pattern recognition. ADHD brains are constantly scanning, constantly processing. What looks like distraction is actually a brain that's taking in massive amounts of information and finding connections others miss. This is why so many people with ADHD excel in fields like data science, mathematics, and engineering. They see the patterns hiding in the chaos. And speaking of chaos, while most people feel stressed in unpredictable situations, ADHD brains thrive there. Uncertainty isn't scary, it's stimulating. Dynamic environments aren't overwhelming, they're energizing. This is why emergency responders, entrepreneurs, and innovators with ADHD often outperform their peers when things get crazy. The entrepreneurship connection is particularly fascinating. A massive study with almost 10,000 participants found that people with ADHD are significantly more likely to start businesses. They don't just dream about it, they actually do it. Why? Because the same traits that make traditional environments challenging make entrepreneurship a perfect fit. Think about what it takes to start a business. You need to see opportunities others miss. Check. You need to take risks when everyone else plays it safe. Check. You need to pivot quickly when things change. Check. You need bursts of intense productivity. Check. It's like entrepreneurship was designed for ADHD brains. But it's not just about starting businesses, it's about leading them. Research on neurodivergent leadership found something remarkable. ADHD executives often create the most innovative, psychologically safe team environments, not despite their ADHD, because of it. They naturally build spaces where different types of thinking can flourish because they know what it's like to think differently. The neuroscience behind all this is mind-blowing. Brain imaging studies show ADHD brains develop differently, creating unique neural pathways. One study identified two distinct ADHD types, and get this, one type actually shows enhanced cognition. Their brains aren't lacking, they're specialized. EEG research can now distinguish ADHD brains from neurotypical ones with 84% accuracy during cognitive tasks. These aren't broken brains making mistakes, they're different brains using different strategies, and often those strategies lead to breakthrough innovations. Here's something that might surprise you. Working memory in ADHD can be significantly improved with the right training. Chinese researchers found that targeted exercises not only improved memory, they enhanced overall cognitive function. The potential is there, it just needs the right approach to unlock it. So what does this mean for careers? ADHD individuals excel when they find the right fit. Emergency services love ADHD employees because they stay calm and think clearly in crisis. Tech companies value them because they solve problems others can't even see. Creative industries depend on them because they bring fresh perspectives. The key is environment. Traditional offices with rigid schedules and repetitive tasks, not ideal. But give an ADHD brain flexibility, variety, and meaningful challenges, that's when the magic happens. Organizations are starting to get it. Companies embracing neurodiversity report higher innovation, better problem solving, and stronger team dynamics. They're not hiring ADHD employees despite their differences, they're hiring them because of those differences. Recent studies keep reinforcing this new understanding. A 2024 study found strong positive correlations between ADHD traits and self-reported strengths in hyperfocus, sensory processing, and cognitive flexibility. The old deficit model is crumbling, replaced by recognition of cognitive diversity. Even brain stimulation research shows promise. Techniques like transcranial direct current stimulation are enhancing ADHD cognitive abilities while preserving those unique strengths. We're not trying to make ADHD brains normal, we're helping them be the best version of different. The implications are huge. We're talking about millions of people who've been told they're broken, discovering they're actually built for innovation. Students struggling in traditional classrooms who might be the next generation of entrepreneurs. Employees feeling trapped in the wrong jobs who could be leading breakthrough projects. This isn't about romanticizing ADHD. It comes with real challenges, but it's about recognizing that those challenges often come paired with incredible strengths. Different doesn't mean deficient. In fact, in our rapidly changing, innovation-hungry world, different might just be exactly what we need. Next time you meet someone with ADHD, or if you have it yourself, remember this. That restless energy, that different way of thinking, that ability to hyper-focus on passions, those aren't bugs in the system, they're features, and they might just change the world. What do you think about this new perspective on ADHD? Drop a comment and share your thoughts. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video.